All right, this is the second part of the introduction slide. So first we're going to talk about what is the framework for this course. So this course is technology and teaching, and we are definitely in a technological educational world where you can walk into any classroom and students have Chromebooks. They have computer labs, but they have these devices in their hands in the classroom. So it's very important that for you as a future teacher, you understand how to effectively utilize these tools within your classroom. So this all begins with ISTE. ISTE is the International Society for Technology and Education, but the standards that they have come up with are what schools follow. So it's important for you to understand what these standards are. So they have different standards. The first set of standards are standards for educators. So I'll click here, just let you take a quick look. So you are the educator. These are the standards that they expect for you to understand and follow. A learner, a leader, citizen, a collaborator, a designer, a facilitator, and an analyst. Part of, for example, the fact that I want you to get a Twitter account and start your professional learning network, that is part of one of these standards, right? Being able to lead and learn and understand and collaborate, right? And so all of these things are very important for you as an educator. And we'll dig into these a little bit more as the semester progresses. So it's really important for you to understand what ISTE is, understand the ISTE standards, the ISTE standards for educators. So click on this link, go through, read through those a little more in depth. The second thing is South Carolina created computer science and digital literacy standards for K through 8. They were approved in 17 and they were supposed to have full implementation beginning the 18-19 school year. I'm not sure how much these are being implemented, but I do think it's important for you to see them and just understand. So we're going to click on these real quick. This takes you to the South Carolina Department of Education so that if you're ever wondering where to find all of your standards, this is where you can find them. So here, the typical standards for South Carolina. And then if you were to scroll and just kind of look, so like we'll start with early childhood, kindergarten, digital literacy, computing systems, networks in the internet, data and analysis, impact of computing. So these are the main standards, right? The key concepts. And then down here, these are all the indicators that they're expecting you to understand and help your students understand. So you can see here that the first standard, use software applications to create an authentic product. So believe it or not, in kindergarten, they have Chromebooks or iPads, and they're using apps. They might be using like the book creator app, and they're dragging and dropping and creating products on their own. That would suffice for this one. And so if you dig into each of the indicators here, you can see locate letter and number keys. It's very simple. This is them explaining to teachers how to take a kindergartner and get them to where they need to be. And honestly, in this day and age, kindergartners probably know more than a lot of adults because they have grown up as digital natives. So you could scroll through, go a little farther. We'll go to, let's see, 8th grade. So in 8th grade, we still have those same key concepts: digital literacy, computing systems, networks in the internet, data and analysis, algorithms and programming. Okay, so that one got added. So if we'll go back to that first one, use software applications to collaborate and create authentic products. So in kindergarten, they were just creating them. Now we're collaborating, right? Produce documents according to industry standards. Identify and use tabs in a word processing document. Identify and use file compression techniques, zipping folders, that kind of thing. proper keyboarding techniques, right? Which I know a lot of middle schoolers have to take some kind of keyboarding. Helping students understand um, methods to protect data, information, computing. You're actually going to do a project on this where you're going to help your students understand how to protect their own information, right? Helping them understand how important it is to have a really good password, those kinds of things. And then the algorithms and programming, it says design, evaluate, and modify simple algorithms, right? Steps to make a sandwich, steps to a popular dance, steps for sending an email. And so you're just helping them get that mindset, that analytical mindset, right? Use a beginner coding language to design and code a complex program that solves a problem. Maybe in middle school, there are classes where they can begin to do these types of things. I know in elementary, we had a program called Scratch. And so our students, it's basically a drag and drop programming language. So there's possible that those are given to you as options in the early childhood, elementary, middle school. Um, when you get to high school, they have programming classes, so those standards would be more specific. So, what does all of this mean? This is kind of the framework where we're getting started. You have to be technology proficient. That's what this means, right? We don't just browse, click, chat, and game. We invent, we design, we create, we build, we share. We're trying to help this generation who are digital natives to understand how to more effectively use the tools at their disposal. So this is when we're getting into TPACK and SAMR. TPACK is the technological pedagogical content knowledge. This is a framework for how teachers can gain the knowledge to help their students, right? So we know technological, that's easy. Pedagogical. Pedagogy is the way you teach, the strategies, the ideas, the just in general, what are those tools in your toolbox personally for how do you teach? That's your pedagogy. Content, that's the information that you teach, the things that you know, right? And so we're going to bring all of this together. And what's important here is you'll notice in this second paragraph I wrote through sustained professional development, collaboration, support. Teachers can improve their understanding of their personal TPACK, right? You can't just know this. You have to continue to learn and help yourself, right? A lot of times when I'm teaching this course, someone will ask me, well, how do you know that? And it's because I actively go out and learn new things to keep myself in the know. So I keep using this term, digital natives. Ask yourself, what does that mean? You know, when you think about digital natives, these are children, almost actually you, who have grown up their entire life with some kind of digital technology, cell phones, computers. It's been a part of your life, your students' lives. So they completely understand these tools, but we have to understand how to use these tools within the classroom educationally, right? Technology is only effective if it has a purpose. So again, technology, what does that look like? Pedagogy, and then content knowledge. You have to bring all three of these together, and that's where your TPACK is. That's where you have taken the knowledge, the content that you're teaching, you've taken your knowledge of technology resources, and you've taken the knowledge of how to teach, and you've brought all of that together so that you can help use technology to teach the content in the most effective way for your students. The second model or framework that we're going to talk about is SAMR. So SAMR stands for Substitute, Augmentation, Modification, and Redefinition. And you can kind of see, this is not a good picture, but you can kind of see over here, redefinition. That's when Tech allows for the creation of new tasks previously inconceivable. So that is technology, pure technology, right? And I have an image on the next slide that's going to help you understand this a little bit better. Modification is when you take tech and you've redesigned it, which is really good. Augmentation, tech acts as a direct tool substitute with functional improvement. So now, instead of asking your students to create a poster, now you've asked them to create a Google slide, and maybe it's got links on it, hyperlinks. So you've augmented that typical poster presentation to using technology and added a hyperlink, right? But you haven't significantly redesigned it. Substitute is where that first example, you've taken a poster and turned it into a Google slide, but that's it. There's nothing technological in that Google slide other than the fact that it's digital. And so the SAMR model it's showing that progression where first you're substituting, then you're augmenting. So you're starting with that, taking the poster, turning it into a Google slide, then you augmented. You take the poster, turned it into a Google slide, added some unique features to it, like a hyperlink or a QR code or a video. You've embedded a video into it. Modification. Now you've taken that Google slide and you've done something else to really redesign it so that it's not just augmented anymore, or redefinition where you've completely made this presentation where it couldn't be done without the technology. This is a great image to really help you to put it into perspective. So here we've got no tech. Then we're like, I wonder what's out in that ocean. Substitution, where the tech acts as a direct tool substitute with no functional change. So you're out in the ocean, but you're in a boat. Then the tech acts as a tool. Sorry, my mouse always jumps around. As a direct tool substitute with functional improvement. So now you're in the water with a snorkel, right? Then modification, tech allows for significant task redesign. Now you can actually get down in the water because now you're scuba diving, right? So you can see more than what you could see snorkeling. And then you get really smart, right? And now you're in some kind of submarine. And so you can see the transition here and how this image can help you understand. Here, I've given some example presentations. I'm not saying these are all good. I'm just saying these are some presentations from students in the past. So take a look at them and see where you think they fall on the SAMR model, because the SAMR model is a huge part of your rubrics. I'm going to be expecting you to try to reach that modification and redefinition level. I don't want you at substitute and augment, right? So look at some examples, see what you think. What are your obligations? So I talked about your TPACK and how you have to establish the understanding of how to bring all of that together, and so does your school district. However, they are here to help. So this first link will tell you what are the expectations as an employee of the South Carolina Department of Education. And then I gave you a few big districts and what are some things that they do. What do they expect from you and how do they help you? So a lot of districts now have a technology department, and they will come into your class and help you teach a lesson, or they offer professional development all throughout the year. And these are just links to a few of those schools to help you. All right, so last, you are choosing 2 articles, one from the TPACK articles, one from the SAMR articles. You only have to choose one each. So you're turning in 2 articles, one each. And then here's the rubric. So this video just shows you how to get the rubric and put it into your folder, because what I did here, this link is a force copy. And so a force copy is a great way for me to share something with you and make sure that you have your own copy of it. Okay. And lastly, don't forget Twitter. So this is really important. I don't want you to wait until the very end to try to get these done. I want you to just pick and choose. They don't have to go in order. Pick and choose whichever ones you want to post, but make sure that you are posting throughout the semester, right? And you're trying to build that collaboration and that camaraderie with other educators. You can go to this list where the Twitter handles are. Follow some of these old students of mine. You might even know some of them, right? Follow them. Look at what are the things that they are posting, or follow me and go see who I follow, because I follow a lot of really amazing educators, and then go follow those educators, right? And then you'll begin to get some really awesome information. And then over here, you can get a copy of that checklist to put in your folder so that you can mark the date when you posted something. Because at the end of the semester, I will be looking through this, and I'll be looking through your Twitter throughout to make sure that you are posting, and then I will award your points. All right, and that's it. So as usual, if you have questions or if you need help with anything, let me know. I'm